Not your typical museum. The Newseum in Washington, D.C. combines news history and everything having to do with the First Amendment. And now they're partnering with the Smithsonian Institution on a new exhibit called One Nation with News for All. It tells the story of how immigrants and minorities used the power of the press to fight for their rights. And we got a sneak peek of the new exhibit from online managing editor Sharon Shahid.
I've had a lot of friends go to the Newseum, and I think it's calling my name because they all come back with rave reviews. And now we're going to talk about a new exhibit. But before we do that, for those who maybe haven't been and haven't had the friends like I do that have given the rave reviews, tell us a little bit about the Newseum as a whole, and then we can talk a little bit about this new exhibit.
Well, the Newseum is probably one of the coolest museums in Washington, D.C. It ranks high always on all of anyone's visitors list of the best places, the most fun places to be in Washington, D.C. We're right on 6th and Pennsylvania Avenue. We have a great view of Capitol Hill, and there's just so much to do here. In fact, a lot of visitors say it takes them 2 days, and our tickets accommodate a 2-day visit.
Oh.
But it has something for everyone. If you want to see pieces of the Berlin Wall, you'll see that. If you are a photography buff and you like photographs, we have a great Pulitzer Prize gallery.
I'm thinking about all the people planning their summer vacation, so I'm glad we got that description in. A new exhibit opening, One Nation with News for All. Tell me about that.
One Nation with News for All it was created in partnership with the Smithsonian to tell the powerful story of how immigrants and minorities use the power of the press to speak for themselves, to stand up, defend their rights, and to also shape the American experience.
We are in Rochester home to Susan B. Anthony. Frederick Douglass has a lot of ties to our community as well. When we think about using the written word to, advance groups' rights, this is exactly what we talk about all the time in our community. I understand there's a little bit of a Frederick Douglass piece of history there.
Absolutely. Frederick Douglass is one of the artifacts we have of Frederick Douglass, who was a black abolitionist, very powerful African-American historian in our country and an orator. We have his North Star, which was an abolitionist newspaper, but we also have, as one of our 60 artifacts, we have Frederick Douglass's pocket watch.
That's pretty cool. Got our attention here. And we're seeing some of the, if you want to call it ethnic media for news. We just saw the El Mississippi, the earliest known Spanish language newspaper. Yes. And there's some other ones that you all feature there. Tell me about those.
Yes, El Mississippi is the earliest known Spanish language newspaper in the country. It was established in 1808 and is actually the oldest of the minority newspapers. And we also have Freedom's Journal, which is the first African-American newspaper, which was established in 1827 in New York. We also have, in addition to those newspapers, we have the composing stick and lead type that Benjamin Franklin used to publish his newspapers. Benjamin Franklin published the first foreign language newspaper in the country, which happened to be German language newspaper. And we also have a platform stool and bottle openers that Pullman porters use to circulate the Chicago Defender throughout the South. And that's all in addition to, again, Frederick Douglass's pocket watch.
Cool. Well, you were looking at the old, but I understand the new technology is a part of this too. Selfies are a part of the exhibit too?
Selfies are a huge part of the exhibit, and it's a way to bring visitors into the exhibit because, after all, the story is really about all of us and all of our ethnicities. So what you can do is stand in front of a big poster we have towards the end of the exhibit, and you can take a selfie of yourself and you can upload it to our website, which is newseum.org.
I'm thinking, families planning vacations for the summer. When we think in terms of age ranges, how young you think a child might appreciate what you have there?
Probably as young as 6 years old to really appreciate the content that we have. There's a lot of material that adults like. As I said, pieces of the Berlin Wall. But we also have 500 years of news history that they could see in our news history gallery. But then there's also Anchorman. We still have that exhibit. And kids love to, we still have that, and it's still going strong. And kids love to be to see that story and see the props from the movie.
And we all love to quote it, I'm sure, in newsrooms all around the country. You mentioned the website
That's
a little
right.
while ago. If people are planning and want to learn a little bit more, what is the website again?
It's newseum.org, but you can also follow us on Twitter and Facebook.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate your time today. Congrats on pulling off another exhibit, and hopefully we'll get to meet in person sometime soon. I can stop by and say hello.
I hope so, too. I'm looking forward to it.
Take care.
Take care.
There we go. The Anchorman exhibit still there.
Would anyone like to hear on Burgundy play some Jazz Float?
I do.